The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary, Peter Szijjártó, paid a two-day official visit on the 27th March to 28th March this year in the country. He arrived at the Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam. At the Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam was received by the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of International Cooperation and East Africa Cooperation, His Excellency Ambassador Said Shaib Musa. In a vibrant display of international cooperation, Tanzania and Hungary have sealed a landmark agreement to enhance diplomatic relations and economic collaboration. Within his visit, Tanzania and Hungary has signed an agreement of mutual understanding and cooperation. In a notable development, Minister Makamba also sealed a MOU on behalf of Ministry of Water Management. Recognizing Hungary's expertise in technology and water management, he highlighted the potential for knowledge exchange and technological collaboration to address water resource challenges in Tanzania. The insightful cooperation agreement paves the way for leveraging Hungary's experience to enhance water management practices in Tanzania, making a significant milestone in bilateral collaboration. TBC was granted an exclusive interview with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary, Peter Szijjártó.
This is the International Sphere.
Foreign Minister, I'm pleased to have you here on the set, and welcome to Tanzania and talking to us on TBC, the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you so much for your kind invitation.
Thank you very much. Just to begin our discussion, for Mr. Foreign Minister, Tanzania has been enjoying diplomatic relations with various countries worldwide, and among them is Hungary. How could you describe the mutual understanding between the two countries?
You know, the world has been faced with many challenges recently. Unfortunately, mostly security-related ones. We in Europe love to refer to ourselves as the most peaceful continent, and now the reality is something different. We are being faced with a war which brings the threat of escalation basically every day. And we understand that there are armed conflicts all around the world, which put serious challenges ahead all of us. And I think that in this case, rationality, common sense, respect are extremely important. And we understand that the government of Tanzania represents a very similar position to all these challenges like we do. Your government is very sensitive on the sovereignty of the country. Is a government which sticks to the cultural, constitutional and historic heritage. It's proud of what the country has achieved. So we represent a very similar position in Europe. Common sense, standing up for peace, sticking to our own sovereignty. And we all know that the global political arena is being now ruled by the so-called international liberal mainstream, which does not really give priority for such kind of political approaches which have been represented by both the Tanzanian and the Hungarian government. So it was easy to find each other, let's put it this way, and to understand that a very similar approach is being represented. And based on this common understanding, it's always easier to build up some practical and pragmatic cooperation.
Mm-hmm. Last year in 2023, we witnessed for the very first time the Hungarian first former female president, Katalin Novak's state visit here in Tanzania. And of course, now it's you here in the country. What is the significance of your visit this time around, Mr. Foreign Minister?
Well, we do have to build on the momentum. Mm-hmm. The economic cooperation got a new, let's say, impetus as the water technologies are becoming more and more concentrated in our relationship. You are looking for solutions on this area, which is very, very important from the perspective of your country, and we are able to offer technologies, programs, investments, companies, which can provide as a solution for you. So we had here the CEOs of the most relevant water company with us. They have been working on projects. They are looking for the counterparts on the Tanzanian side in order to be able to carry out those necessary investments and projects which will improve the situation here. And I do believe that moving the economic cooperation into the next dimension makes it necessary to establish some personal kind of representation here. That's why we made the decision that we establish a diplomatic representation of Hungary here in Dar es Salaam. I have received the approval of your foreign minister, so there's nothing in the way as an obstacle. So soon we will have a permanent representation here, which will definitely make it much easier to build on the momentum we have now.
Mm-hmm. Just to add on that, that you have received an approval from our minister here. Prior to our interview, you met with your counterpart, Honorable General Makamba, and you had a discussion there. What was in the top of the agenda within your discussion?
Well, first of all, to stand up for peace together. Mm-hmm. You have been suffering from many impacts of the war in Ukraine, although you have no responsibility for the war. We have the same feeling. We are suffering from the impacts, although we have no responsibility. Skyrocketing energy prices, inflation, much more complicated imports of grain, petroleum products, fertilizers. So we do hope that this rational voice of peace will get louder and louder in the international political community, and the let's say the war psyche will be outscored by the approach in favor of peace. On the other hand, we have discussed the preparatory works for the next agreements we will be signing during your foreign minister's visit to Budapest in the second half of the year, including the civic aviation agreement, which will facilitate more the travels between the two countries. Zanzibar is being very popular among Hungarian travelers, so we have to build on that momentum as well. We will exchange young diplomats. We have our diplomatic academy, you have your Foreign Relations Institute, so I think it's very useful for these young diplomats not only to learn or study about a certain faraway region, but to go there and see with their own eyes. And we continue our program of providing scholarships for Tanzanian students on the Hungarian universities, 30 of them every year. We see the program is being popular. Around 700 applications have been submitted. So I think that these are the success areas of our relationship, and we will continue to build on them.
Mm-hmm. You've mentioned on the education sector. Last year, I remember it was the MOU on education sector that is to not only Tanzania sending students to Hungary, but also Hungary bringing students here. What is the progress so far, Mr. Foreign Minister?
There are currently 93 Tanzanian students studying on the Hungarian universities in this very moment. Mm-hmm. Among them 59 based on full-fledged Hungarian government scholarship. And we are preparing to send the first 5 Hungarian students to study on the Tanzanian universities. We are promoting this opportunity with the universities in Hungary. You know, we have a very internationalized higher education system. We have around 290,000 students enrolled, among them 40,000 foreigners. So we put a lot of emphasis on internationalization because we do believe that such an exchange helps the successful implementation of our foreign policy strategy as well.
Mm-hmm. In my findings here, trade, tourism and agriculture are also earmarked as the priority sectors for mutual cooperation. What is your take on that?
I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. When it comes to trade, we were able to break the record of annual trade volume last year between Tanzania and Hungary. The trade volume has amounted to $7.5 million. First time ever, you have exported more to Hungary compared to what you have imported from there. So when it comes to trade surplus, we had a contribution there. We imported a lot of tin from Tanzania. So that's a good basis to build on. When it comes to tourism, you know, we had around 11,000 Hungarians traveling to Tanzania last year, which is doubled compared to the year before. We hope this trend is going to be continued. A very important precondition for that is promotion. So I told the minister that we have to keep Tanzania being promoted in Hungary, because Hungarian travelers are looking for so beautiful destinations that they can find here, and some promotion helps definitely there. And when it comes to agriculture, you know, everything starts with water, with irrigation. And I have told my colleague that when it comes to irrigation technologies, we do have a lot to share. We have very high-ranking technologies in this regard, and I ensured my colleague that that in case there's a demand for such kind of technologies to be utilized here in Tanzania, we will absolutely be at disposal.
In my findings, Mr. Foreign Minister, here, Hungary has been active in providing international humanitarian aid, which could also be of a help to countries like Tanzania. Mr. Foreign Minister, what are the kind of humanitarian projects Hungary might be interested in supporting Tanzania?
Look, we do look at Tanzania as a pillar of stability here in the region. We understand that terrorism and the migration constitute a vicious circle. And we understand that Africa has been now fighting a lot with the terrorist organizations. And you can be sure that we respect this role, because the more serious the threat of terror is, the more migratory waves will be established and more migrants will arrive to Europe. And we have seen the outcome of the migration crisis in Europe in the last years. We have seen that there were parallel societies being created in the western part of Europe. Modern age anti-Semitism spread over. A increasing threat of terror has been there. So we all know that the security of Europe starts with the stability of Africa. And in order to ensure the stability of Africa, we need stable points. We need stable pillars. We need stable countries, like Tanzania. So therefore, we have been carrying out development programs on the field of education, and we're happy to assist your healthcare sector as well. We have a program which is called Hungary Helps, that's under the portfolio of my ministry, and we give financial assistance to many countries all over the world who are necessary and vital from the perspective of ensuring a regional stability of certain areas. And here Tanzania can definitely count on our support. So when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to education, we are at your disposal.
The mutual understanding between the two countries has been massive, especially from last year to now. Now, what is your take on now staging a diplomatic mission within Tanzania? Any ideas?
Look, we have been represented by a wonderful honorary consul here for the last 17 years, but you know, there's a big difference between an honorary consul and a permanent representation. And my understanding is that after you reach a dimension of cooperation, it's very complicated, I don't say impossible, very complicated to move forward, to further improve without a personal presence. So therefore, we agreed that we establish a representation here. We would, ensure the best possible circumstances for Tanzania to do so reciprocally as well. I have offered my assistance to your minister when it comes to picking a honorary consul in Budapest, which could be the first step. But I do believe that us appearing here with a permanent mission will give a further impetus and further dynamism to this relationship to further grow.
Mr. Foreign Minister, we are running out of time, but I have your last question here, that as Tanzania is marking 60 years of its union, that is the union of Tanzania mainland and Zanzibar, what is your take on that, or what do you commend to the Tanzanian government?
Well, we have a long-standing relationship with Tanzania. We have been in a diplomatic context for 62 years. And these 62 years were characterized by mutual respect. And this is something that we have to build on. Nowadays, international political arena is mainly characterized by judging, lecturing each other, criticizing each other, you know, and we do believe that diplomacy should be about cooperation and mutual respect.
Yes.
And we always had this mutual respect in our relationship. And we see that conservative, patriotic governments are usually being under pressure. But as far as my experience, those countries and governments which can resist this pressure have the best service for their citizens. Because at the end of the day, it's the citizens of the given country who have to be satisfied with the given government and not international organizations or international liberal mainstream. So what I can, you know, just say here that that this patriotic approach, this very practical foreign policy strategy, the respect this country has gained and has shown to others is something that must be cherished. And therefore, we will continue to work together with the Tanzanian government. And I do hope that not only the last 60, but the upcoming 60 years will give success and prosperity for this wonderful country and to the even more wonderful people here.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Foreign Minister, in Tanzania, we have two good common words, karibu and asante. Karibu means welcome, and asante means thank you. I thank you very much for your time.
But I have even heard that you can say there's no problem. Hakuna Matata, right? That's what we all know. That's what we all know in Hungary. So
that's wonderful.
You know, under the very challenging circumstances of the world, if you can say Hakuna Matata, no problem, that's a very great position you can reach. So we hope we can say this for a long time, right?
Asante sana, asante sana. I'm glad to have you here on the set and talking to us here on TBC. The Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation here in Tanzania.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Asante sana.
Thank you.